What's going on, guys? Asian Eyes White Dragon here. So we're going to be doing a deck profile, and it's kind of a beta deck profile, so I am still working on the deck, so if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, let's get on with the deck profile, then I'll explain some of the things as I go along. So basically, it's using Card Trooper to mill cards like Alias, mill other cards that you can use Miracle Fusion for, and as well as using Future Fusion to send Card Trooper to the grave, and setting Call of the Haunted so you get to +1 if they do Heavy Storm, MST, your back row. And everything is really good and chainable in here because whenever your opponent summons something, you can Hero Blast if Alias is in the grave when you mill it with Card Trooper. The deck has a really good matchup against some wind-up variants or any Synchro decks just because Hero Blast is really good. It's chainable to a lot of stuff, and it is a great card. It's like if they go summon Debris Dragon, you go chain Hero Blast and you get rid of whatever they get back, or you can do it on the Debris Dragon. It's just a really good card, and I am playing triple Gemini Spark and triple Hero Blast, which is kind of excessive, but that is why we're playing Card Trooper, just to help out get Alias in the grave, because Alias is kind of the heart of the deck, and you really need to get him in the grave or in your hand so you can activate your Gemini Sparks, your Hero Blast, and yeah, it's really good against Insectors and other decks where it relies around synchroing, because you can just get rid of the monster. Also has a pretty decent matchup against ninjas, because when ninjas summon Hanzo, they add the card to their hand, and you just go, okay, I'll Hero Blast, and then they have no ninja on the field. Then you can kind of poke at them for half of their life, and it is really good. Plus, if they deprison you, you have Gemini Spark to +1 again. So the deck can +1 really quick. Next up, we got 2 Veiler, 2 Maxi. Those are the hand traps in the deck, just because I don't like dealing with wind-ups first turn. Veiler's okay card. I think it is good in this deck because also it is bait for the Shining, so if you happen to want to go for Shining, you can remove a Veiler, and that will get you out Shining as well. Next up, 3 Alias. It is the heart of the deck. The deck is kind of low in monster count. It's only 11 monsters, but you can consider it 14 because we are running 2 E-Call plus the Reinforcement of the Army, which basically gets you Alias, or if you do happen to want to get Ocean for the situation, it is good for that as well. But basically, you're going to be going for Stratos 99% of the time, and he gets to basically plus your Alias off from the deck. And so yeah, those are the E-Heroes there. There's only 5, but you can consider it 8. But yeah, Ocean is really good. I don't like to just summon him. I like to let him either die, like by setting him, or if I mill him, or if I use Future Fusion with him. He's really good to activate Call of the Haunted on, especially when Stratos is on the grave. Because what you do, and this is the simple play, you activate Call of the Haunted on your opponent's end phase, and you get back Ocean. Ocean then nets you Stratos from the grave, and then you summon Stratos, and then you can pop 1 card. After popping a card, these are both warriors, so you can make Blade Armor Ninja. And so basically with 1 Call of the Haunted, you're able to pop 1 back row, and basically hit them for 4,400 if they have a clear field. And I think that is really good. 1 card to basically MSC plus get out, a strong monster that can attack twice is really good. Plus he is wind, so he's also more food for the Elemental Hero Great Tornado if you need to get him out. But yeah, I think that is just a really simple combo. Plus, you can add Stratos back to search out Alias if you happen to need to. There's a lot of things that Call of the Haunted plus Ocean really do net you, so I think it is pretty good. Just to play 1 Ocean plus, obviously Opposite Zero is a pretty good card. And then next up we're playing Gores, just because there's no deep-prisons in the deck, and you can have some problems against big monsters. Because I don't really like using Gemini Spark against big monsters. But sometimes you do need to do it. But you basically have your Miracle Fusions as answers to it. So you have basically triple Gemini Spark, plus you have Miracle Fusions for answers. Obviously Darkhold too. But yeah, Hero Blast is basically really such a good card just because it has so much control. Like when your opponent summons 1 Karakuri and then they go activate effect to normal summon another Karakuri. If you Hero Blast right there, then they're like, oh, now I can't really do anything. Now I have a Karakuri that can't do anything in attack position. And then you can, do whatever you want to do from there. And it's really good. I think this card is basically one of the best cards in this deck right here. But next up, we already talked about Maxi for hand traps, and then Tengus. And so the reason we're running Tengus is because he's also pretty good. He opens up more plays for Trishula. Obviously when Tengu dies, you get out another Tengu. If you have to activate your Call of the Haunted, or get out, any other monster, and you summon a Veiler, you can make Trish. Quite easy with that. Also, the main reason, though, is because once all your Tengus are dead, you have 3 Tengus in grave, all you need is 1 Elemental Hero, and you can use Miracle Fusion over and over and over. Because once your Great Tornado dies, which is basically what you get out when you remove Tengu plus an E-Hero. Your Great Tornado dies. And so in the grave, you'll still have 2 Tengus, and you'll have Great Tornado. You can then Miracle Fusion over and over. And yeah, if you Miracle Fusion multiple times, you can have the attack and defense of all face-up monster your opponent controls. And this lasts not just until the end phase, but it's forever. So you can, use Miracle Fusion multiple times and get out, multiple Great Tornadoes and just keep on halving everything and then just attack for game that way, which is pretty fun to do. Then next up, Dark Hole, pretty self-explanatory. Then, 2 E-Call and Rhoda, but basically they're all the same because the only targets in here are E-Heroes. But next up, we got Future Fusion. It's really good. If you open up a Future Fusion, it really just puts an advantage on you. Depending on what you have in your hand, but 99% of the time, you're going to be sending Alias to the grave, and you could possibly send Card Trooper or Ocean. But yeah, Future Fusion is just too good not to run in any E-Hero deck, in my opinion. And you really do need to get Alias in the grave, like I said. Next up, we got 3 Gemini Spark. Works really well with Alias, and just as a chainable, if you happen to have Hero Blast in your hand, and you also have Gemini Spark, and you set, you set Hero Blast at Gemini Spark, they summon anything, and you just go, okay, Gemini Spark. Or if they, happen to do anything, you can just Gemini Spark 1 random back row, and then they summon something, and you go Hero Blast, add the card back, and you basically get a +1 off of it, and it's really good. The next up, Heavy Storm, and then 3 Miracle Fusion. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't find this card really dead at all, just because you do have a lot of the emergency calls, and you have the Rhoda to get your E-Heroes, and basically once Tengu dies, and you have Future Fusion. So the Miracle Fusion doesn't feel dead at all running at 3. Then we got a Reborn and Triple Duality. Now Triple Duality really helps out with getting that Stratos first turn. Plus, if you happen to go Future Fusion, summon Stratos, deck thin by 1, and then deck thin by another 2 from Future Fusion, and then you have your Duality to draw into Trap Dust Shoot, you're pretty good to go. And it really helps out to get those Hero Blasts, those Gemini Sparks, because the deck doesn't really need to special summon every turn to be successful, and that's why we're running that. And Rhoda, we went over that. And then 2 Call of the Haunted, it just works so well with Card Trooper, and as well as getting whatever you need back, essentially. Unfortunately, you can't get back the Hero Fusions, which would be quite good, but you can get Blade Armor Ninja, and that is just a 2200 attacker, so it's okay. But basically, Call of the Haunted is used to chain and getting back Card Trooper, because when you get back Card Trooper, you get to draw 1 if they MST it. And the next up, 3 Hero Blasts. Hero Blast is just way too good. Plus, Call of the Haunted gets you back your Alias at times when you have a Gemini Spark set that you really want to use. And then last up, we got 2 Solemn Warnings and Torrential Tribute and Trap Dust Shoot. I should be running Solemn Judgment, but I really felt like it wasn't necessary just because this format is so heavy on special summoning like multiple times that if you pay half your life, they can just summon something and attack over you for game. And with just E-Heroes as your backup, it doesn't really help because sometimes you'll have like a Card Trooper and you summon something and then they summon something and attack your Card Trooper, and you basically lose from that because you take way too much damage. But a Solemn Judgment is a good card, don't get me wrong. I wish I did have room to put it in here, but I really felt like I needed the extra E-calls just to get Alias, because sometimes you can clog your hand. Like I drew 3 Hero Blasts one game and still pulled out of it just because I had that one Alias, and E-calls help out really with that. As far as the extra deck, I'm playing 2 Great Tornado, 1 guy just to send Card Trooper, and one of these guys, although he's not the greatest, he's better with Super Poly, to be honest, but you can side deck those. And I don't play Nova Master because I don't really play matches with this deck. But if I did, yeah, I'd put Nova Master just to get rid of like Lagia. Yeah, the only thing different that you might not see in most E-Hero decks, but Blade Armor Ninja is so good. It requires 2 Warrior type monsters. Other than that, though, I do run a Levier and I do run Zen Maids. Levier is made when I go for Card Trooper, plus I have Reborn, and I Reborn their monster, and then I can special summon, remove, and play a monster, which is usually Stratos because Stratos gets an effect. But yeah, this has been my deck profile, and I'm still working on it, so if there's any room for improvement that you guys think, let me know in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.